When someone breaks your heart, it feels like everything you knew has crumbled, and you're left with nothing but the remnants of a love that was never meant to stay. In those moments, it's easy to feel lost and powerless, like you've been completely stripped of your dignity. But here's the truth. When someone breaks your heart, it's not just a loss, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to reclaim your power, to stop letting them control your emotions, your peace, and your future. You see, we often give too much of ourselves to others, thinking that we can't live without their approval, their love, or their validation. But the moment they break your heart, they've shown you that your worth was never tied to them. Your worth has always been yours, and you've always had the power to reclaim it. It's time to realize that no one, no matter how close they were or how much they once meant to you, should have that much influence over your emotional state. You have the ability to take that control back. And that's where the strength lies. Heartbreak is the perfect storm to shift your focus inward. Instead of wallowing in the pain and giving them power over your emotions, recognize that this is the time for you to reestablish boundaries and take your power back. The first step in reclaiming your power is acknowledging that no one has the right to make you feel worthless, unimportant, or undeserving of love. That feeling, the one that takes over after the heartbreak, is simply a product of being too emotionally dependent on someone else. And now it's time to break that chain. When you decide to stop letting them dictate how you feel, you begin to rebuild your confidence, your peace, and your strength. Every moment you spend thinking about what they did or what could have been is a moment you steal from your own healing process. Instead of focusing on what they took from you, focus on what you can now take for yourself. When you choose to stop giving them control over how you feel, you free yourself to find your own happiness, your own sense of peace, and your own worth. Your journey forward is about rediscovering who you are without their validation. It's about building yourself up piece by piece until you no longer need anyone to affirm your value. The power that you've been given away is now yours to keep. And when you fully realize that you are enough without needing anyone to make you feel that way, you'll understand the true meaning of reclaiming your power. Heartbreak becomes a catalyst, a turning point that pushes you into a new chapter, a stronger, wiser version of yourself. So as difficult as it may seem right now, you must trust that breaking free from their grip is one of the most empowering things you can do. No matter how deep the hurt feels, the power to move on, to rebuild, and to reclaim your peace is already within you. You have the strength to rise from this. And when you do, you'll realize that the heartbreak was just the beginning of your new chapter. And from that moment on, you will never allow anyone to have the power to break you again. Heartbreak can stir up a whirlwind of emotions, anger, betrayal, frustration, and confusion. It's easy to feel like you want to retaliate, to make them feel the same pain they caused you. Revenge may seem like the immediate answer to the hurt, but it will only keep you trapped in the cycle of pain. Revenge doesn't heal. It prolongs the wound. What you need to understand is that focusing on revenge only keeps you connected to the person who broke your heart. It doesn't allow you to move on, to heal, or to truly let go. But the true power in this situation lies in choosing healing over harm. Healing isn't about forgetting what happened or dismissing the pain. It's about moving forward with strength, grace, and resilience. Revenge might provide momentary satisfaction, but it will not fill the emptiness you feel inside. You deserve so much more than fleeting satisfaction or petty retaliation. Your worth isn't defined by how much you can hurt someone back. It's defined by your ability to rise above, to choose your peace over perpetuating the cycle of negativity. When you shift your focus away from revenge and instead choose to heal, you empower yourself. The act of healing is a choice to prioritize your well-being, to reclaim your inner peace, and to take responsibility for your own growth. It means acknowledging the pain, feeling the emotions, but deciding not to let them control your future. Healing allows you to break free from the toxic grip of anger, resentment, and bitterness. It creates the space you need to rediscover who you are, who you can become, and what you truly deserve in life. So, while it may be tempting to seek vengeance, remind yourself that true strength lies in your ability to let go of that temptation. Revenge keeps you connected to the past, but healing sets you free. It's time to focus on yourself and your journey ahead. When you let go of the need for revenge, you finally give yourself the freedom to live, to grow, and to heal, and that's when true empowerment begins. When someone breaks your heart, it's easy to feel like you've lost your worth. We often place our value in the hands of others, believing that our worth is determined by their love or approval. But here's the truth. Your value is not tied to someone else's ability to see it. Your worth has always been within you, and it's up to you to recognize it. When you're in the midst of heartbreak, it's natural to feel small, to feel as if you're not enough. But understand this, the person who broke your heart does not define who you are. They didn't create you, and they don't get to determine your value. The value you hold is yours to claim, and you don't need someone else to acknowledge it for it to be real. It's time to stop seeking validation from others, especially from someone who couldn't see your worth when they had the chance. The truth is, the moment you stop seeking approval from others, especially from those who have hurt you, you reclaim your power. You are no longer dependent on anyone else's opinion to define your sense of self. This is a huge shift, a massive leap toward personal freedom. When you recognize that your worth is inherent and does not need validation from others, you stop allowing heartbreak to diminish your value. Let go of the need to prove yourself to someone who couldn't appreciate you. Their inability to see your value is their loss, not yours. Your job is not to convince them, it's to believe in yourself, to affirm your worth, and to stand firm in the truth that you are enough just as you are. When you stop seeking validation, you give yourself the space to heal, to grow, and to build a life that's rooted in self-love and self-respect. So when you're faced with heartbreak, take this as a lesson in self-worth. Your value is not determined by others' opinions or actions. It's time to stop measuring yourself by someone else's standards and start living by your own. Your worth is unshakable, and when you fully embrace that, you become unstoppable. Let's go of the need for validation and watch how everything starts to change for the better. When someone breaks your heart, it can feel like a door slammed shut and the world you once knew is now closed off. But here's what we often fail to realize. When one door closes, another opens. Heartbreak doesn't just bring pain. It opens the door to your own transformation. This moment of loss is not the end, but a new beginning. The reality is, you're not just losing a person, you're gaining an opportunity, a chance to redefine your life, to refocus on what truly matters, and to rebuild from a place of strength. This is your moment to look inward and evaluate what you truly want, not just from relationships, but from life itself. When you're in the throes of heartbreak, it's easy to become consumed with anger or sorrow. But if you step back and look at the bigger picture, you can begin to see that this is the perfect time for self-discovery and growth. Heartbreak is not just the end of a chapter, it's the beginning of your next one. Take this time to reflect on the relationship and what you've learned from it. There's value in every experience, no matter how painful. What did you learn about yourself? What boundaries can you set for your future? Heartbreak, though painful, often teaches us the most important lessons about who we are and what we deserve. You now have the clarity to see the things you may have overlooked before, the patterns you didn't notice, and the things that were missing in your life. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, focus on what you now have. The opportunity to rebuild stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. You can choose to remain stuck in the past, clinging to the hurt, or you can embrace this moment as a chance to create something better for yourself. Think about all the things you've put off or the dreams you've neglected because you were focused on someone else. This is your time to pour into those dreams, to invest in yourself, and to live for you. As you begin to rebuild, you'll realize that you are stronger than you think. The hurt you're feeling now won't last forever. And with time, you'll see that this heartbreak was not the tragedy you thought it was. It was the wake-up call you needed to change the trajectory of your life. You're being given the chance to emerge from this stronger, more self-assured, and more aligned with your true purpose. Don't let the pain cloud your vision. Instead, let it propel you forward. When you let a person go, you are making room for something better to come into your life. This moment is not the end, it's the beginning. And when you start seeing it this way, your entire perspective changes. The door may have closed, but a whole new world is waiting for you. All you have to do is walk through it. When someone breaks your heart, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-blame. You might start questioning everything you did in the relationship, wondering if you could have been better, done more, or acted differently. This kind of thinking can trap you in a cycle of guilt and regret, but it's crucial to remember that heartbreak is not your fault. Relationships involve two people, and it's never just one person's responsibility when things go wrong. We often carry the weight of someone else's actions as if their choices are somehow a reflection of our inadequacy. But here's the reality. Someone breaking your heart says more about them than it does about you. It's about their capacity to love, their readiness for commitment, or their emotional maturity. It's not a reflection of your worth or your ability to give love. It's about where they were in their journey and whether they could meet you halfway. So, stop blaming yourself for something that was beyond your control. It's also important to understand that we cannot control other people's emotions, behaviors, or actions. No matter how much you tried, no matter how much love you gave, you cannot make someone else feel or behave a certain way. We often invest so much of ourselves into our relationship that we forget to prioritize ourselves. When the relationship ends, it's tempting to feel like all that energy, all that time was wasted. But in reality, it was never wasted. The love you gave was a reflection of who you are, not the person you were giving it to. And let's be honest, sometimes we fall for people who are simply not ready to love us the way we deserve. Sometimes we hold on to people who are not in a place to appreciate us fully. That's not a reflection of your inadequacy. It's a reflection of their inability to recognize and honor what you bring to the table. The right person will see you, they will value you, and they will love you for who you are. So don't spend any more time questioning whether you are enough. You are more than enough. Instead of blaming yourself, take this time to focus on self-compassion. Treat yourself with the love and care you show to others. Allow yourself the space to heal, to grieve, and to grow. Heartbreak doesn't define you. How you handle it does. You can choose to rise from this, to rebuild your confidence, and to remind yourself of your value. The fact that someone couldn't see it doesn't diminish your worth in any way. The real growth happens when you stop blaming yourself and start focusing on your healing. Remember that what you offer in a relationship is valuable, and if someone can't appreciate that, it's their loss, not yours. So take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself, you are enough, and you will be okay. The love you need will find you when you stop looking for it in places it doesn't belong, and this heartbreak, while painful, will lead you to the growth and healing you deserve. When your heart is broken, it's easy to feel like you've lost a part of yourself. It's as if the relationship took a piece of your identity with it. But here's the truth. Your identity was never tied to the relationship. It's important to remember that you are complete on your own. Relationships are meant to complement who you are, not define who you are. When a relationship ends, it might feel like you've been left with a void, but that void is just an opportunity for you to reconnect with yourself and rediscover your true essence. Sometimes we get so caught up in our connections with others that we forget to check in with ourselves. We forget to ask, who am I outside of this relationship? The end of a relationship can be a painful but necessary reminder that we must first be whole within ourselves before we can be whole with anyone else. It's time to look inward and reconnect with your passions, your dreams, and your individuality. Heartbreak is a painful but powerful invitation to rediscover who you are, to focus on your own growth, and to reclaim your sense of self. Use this time to invest in your personal development, whether it's picking up that hobby you've neglected, investing in your career, or even exploring new opportunities that excite you. The space left by heartbreak is not an empty void, but an opportunity to fill it with things that truly nourish your soul. Remember, you are not defined by the relationship you're in or the one that you're coming out of. You are defined by your ability to heal, to grow, and to continue moving forward. Your identity was always yours, and this is your chance to build a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The hurt might be there, but it will pass. What will remain is your growth and your ability to rise again, stronger and more aligned with who you truly are. So take this moment to reconnect with yourself, to rediscover your inner strength, and to remember that your identity is something only you can define. You are not what you've lost. You are who you've become in the process of moving through the pain, and this new version of you will emerge even more powerful than before. Heartbreak often leads us to feel like we've been abandoned or that something was wrong with us, but the truth is that this is often the moment when you are being redirected to something greater. It's in those painful moments of loss when we forget that sometimes the universe, God, or life itself has a bigger plan for us. The person who broke your heart may have been a part of your journey, but not the end of your journey. You see, you're being prepared for something better, something more aligned with the future you're meant to live. It's so easy to get caught up in the idea that this was the person you were meant to be with, that this was your one. But often, we don't know what's best for us. We're not privy to the bigger picture. So when a relationship ends, it can feel devastating because we don't understand that the end of that chapter is merely a stepping stone to something far more profound. You may not see it now, but this is life's way of making space for something more fulfilling, more genuine, more aligned with who you are becoming. Understand that this heartbreak isn't a punishment, it's preparation. It's preparing you to receive the love you deserve, to meet someone who aligns with your vision, your values, and the life you're working to build. Right now, it might feel like you're losing something important, but in truth, you're gaining your freedom and opening yourself up to a future that's waiting for you to step into. If you stay open to the lessons this experience brings, you'll soon realize that it wasn't about that one person. It was about your own transformation. Heartbreak forces us to grow, to reevaluate, and to push beyond our limits. And through that process, we become more in tune with ourselves, our worth, and our desires. You are being shaped in ways you can't see yet, but trust that this is all part of your journey. Take this time to focus on your personal growth and healing, because what you're going through now is exactly what you need to prepare for what's coming next. The pain is temporary, but the wisdom, strength, and resilience you'll gain from this experience will last a lifetime. Everything you're experiencing is laying the foundation for your future. Believe that this is part of the process, and when you're ready, you'll step into a life full of new opportunities, new experiences, and new love. And so don't hold on too tightly to the past because you're being led to something greater. Let go and trust the process, knowing that everything is working out for your greater good. Life has bigger plans for you than you can imagine. Stay open, stay faithful, And remember that this heartbreak is simply making room for your brighter future. When your heart is broken, it's tempting to feel like you've failed in some way. The end of a relationship can leave you questioning your self-worth, wondering if you did enough or if there was something wrong with you. But this kind of thinking can keep you stuck in a negative cycle. It's important to understand that a relationship's end is not a reflection of your worth, your value, or your ability to love. It's simply the end of a chapter in your life, not a mark of failure. Heartbreak is not a sign that you are not worthy of love or that you are incapable of experiencing happiness in the future. It's simply an opportunity for you to reflect on what you've learned, what you need, and what you want moving forward. When one door closes, another opens, but you won't see it if you're fixated on what's been lost. It's easy to look back and focus on what went wrong, but the real growth comes when you look ahead and focus on what's to come. This is your chance to redefine who you are and what you want from life. Breakups are a natural part of life and they happen to everyone, but they don't define us. The way we respond to these challenges is what truly matters. You have the power to decide how you view this experience. You can see it as a setback, or you can see it as a stepping stone to something greater. The key is to embrace the change, learn from it, and move forward stronger and wiser. By choosing to move forward with grace, strength, and resilience, you take control of your life again. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of the relationship's end and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of creating the life they want. Heartbreak can feel like a loss, but in reality, it's a form of redirection, a nudge from the universe to show you that there's something better out there for you. And while it's okay to grieve and process the pain, it's also essential to let go of any lingering thoughts that tell you you're less than worthy of love or happiness. You are enough just as you are. Your past doesn't define you, your future does. Use this experience as fuel for your personal growth, and when you're ready, open your heart to the possibilities that await. Everything you've been through has shaped you into the person you are today. And that person is resilient, capable, and deserving of love. So, instead of dwelling on the loss, focus on what's next. Keep moving forward with an open heart and trust that something beautiful is waiting for you just around the corner. When you experience heartbreak, it's easy to lose sight of your power and potential. You may feel like you've been left in a dark place with no way out, questioning everything you've ever believed about love and relationships. But here's the truth. The greatest transformation often comes in the midst of pain. Heartbreak doesn't just break you, it builds you. It forces you to reflect, to grow, and to come face to face with parts of yourself that you may have ignored or neglected before. Sometimes, the pain we experience is the universe's way of waking us up, of urging us to stop, pause, and reflect on who we are and what we want. It's in these moments of vulnerability when we can tap into our true strength. We realize that we are not defined by the love we give or receive from others. We are defined by our own strength, resilience, and capacity to heal. Heartbreak is not a sign of your failure. It is proof of your courage. It means that you gave love, that you opened your heart to someone, and that you were brave enough to risk vulnerability. Not everyone is willing to do that. It takes strength to love deeply and fully, even when the outcome isn't what you hoped for. When you let someone go, you're not losing yourself, you're gaining clarity. You're learning to let go of attachments that no longer serve your highest good. This process of letting go, though painful, is necessary for your personal evolution. You're shedding old layers of yourself that have kept you stuck and making space for new growth, new experiences, and new possibilities. This heartbreak is a catalyst that forces you to ask the important questions. What do I really want? What is my purpose? What kind of love do I want to attract into my life moving forward? This is your chance to redefine who you are and what you deserve. You are not just a reflection of your past relationship. You are a whole, complete person with dreams, goals, and aspirations that extend beyond any one person. The end of this relationship is a turning point, not the end of your story. It's simply a chapter closing, allowing for new chapters to unfold. The greatest thing you can do right now is to step into your power and embrace your worth. Do not allow heartbreak to make you doubt who you are or what you're capable of. Use this moment to build a deeper connection with yourself, to rediscover your passions, and to pursue the life that is waiting for you. The person who broke your heart doesn't have the power to define your future. You do. So, take the pain, learn from it, and let it fuel your growth. Remember, the most painful experiences often lead to the most profound transformations. You are on the brink of something beautiful. Trust the process, embrace the change, and know that everything you need to move forward is already inside of you. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning. When someone breaks your heart, the natural impulse is to want to get even, to make them feel the pain you felt. But here's the power in moving forward instead of seeking revenge. When you take the high road and let go, you are not just freeing yourself from the past. You are demonstrating a strength that goes far beyond anything petty. You are showing the world, and more importantly yourself, that you don't need to stoop to their level in order to feel empowered. Your peace, your strength, your worth, they don't depend on how someone else treats you. They depend on how you choose to rise above it. In the moments after heartbreak, it's easy to feel like the world is closing in on you, like all of your emotions are flooding your mind and you just want to retaliate. But the true power comes in choosing to channel that energy into something greater. Instead of focusing on getting back at the person who hurt you, focus on your own healing and growth. Let them go. Not because they don't matter, but because you matter. You are worthy of peace, of growth, and of moving forward with your head held high. The truth is, when you let go, you are taking back control of your life. You are refusing to allow someone else's actions to dictate how you feel, how you live, or who you become. Your response to the hurt is what defines you, not their actions. By choosing to rise above the hurt, you transform the pain into power. This shift in perspective can be life-changing. The only person who truly loses when you hold on to the hurt is you. When you stay focused on someone who has caused you pain, you remain attached to them in a way that prevents you from fully stepping into your own power. Letting go is an act of self-respect and self-love. It's about creating space for new opportunities, new experiences, and a new version of yourself. When you stop trying to hold on to the past, you allow the universe to bring you what you truly deserve. Sometimes we hold on to situations or people who no longer serve us, and in doing so, we block the flow of the life we are meant to live. Letting go is not just a way to move on from someone who hurt you. It's a way to open up the doors to the future you are meant to have. This is your chance to reclaim your power, to rediscover your strength, and to let go of any energy that's holding you back. So instead of seeking revenge or holding on to the past, use this moment as a stepping stone for your own personal growth. Rise above the situation, focus on your own healing, and step into the future with the knowledge that you are stronger and more powerful than any person or situation that tries to bring you down. You are in control of your own narrative, and your story is just beginning. Trust that everything that has happened is leading you to where you are meant to be.